What's good, comic book fam? Welcome to an all new episode of Free Comic Book Game. Today, we're going to dive into one of Marvel's best kept secrets. I'm here with my comic fan, Rico Jones from Black Key Comics, who has always been my go to guy as far as comic book knowledge and secrets. So, Rico, I appreciate you chatting it up with us today. How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. Finally got a chance to get on the show, man. I'm honored, man. What's up, bro?
Oh, man, hey, I appreciate it. I know you got a wealth of knowledge, and we're going to kick this free game out to the people today. So,
Yeah, we're gonna
thank
do a
you for
little
coming
something
today.
today. Yeah,
So,
what's up, man?
as you know, I got a recent mail call in, so I just want to go
So,
through,
yeah, let's hear it.
show a few books to the people, and some I was less, excited about, and others, but I'll show a few of my main ones, and we can go through and kind of see how it goes. So,
Okay, let's go.
before we get going, we do got a couple people in. Say what's up. My first book up is Dell Giant 48.
Wow, Flintstones. Nice, bro. Is
This
that the first appearance?
This is the first appearance of the Flintstones in comic book form. It's called Bedlam Rock. Dell Publishing, June or July 1961.
It's nice.
It's a nice sturdy cover too. This is a thicker one right here. This one right here is actually a little bigger than most books right here. If you see,
That's that's a nice grade for those books
nice
too.
giant
Not,
size.
not only because of the size, bro, but because a lot of those books that Dale and Golden Key was known for translating a lot of TV shows and cartoons and movie books into comics, and those comics get would get beat up because children and even adults that grew up would read those books.
Yeah,
So a grade like that is actually a really good grade, especially for something that size. Man. That's a really dope grade.
yeah. And as you can see, it has a good mix of all the main characters on the cover right
Mhm.
there. So
Nice colors too.
yep, pretty much covers everybody. So got off white to white pages, but a 3.5. I'm very happy with it, especially for the price I got it at. So
Nice, man. Nice.
so my next one up, you actually put me on game to this one. Um and I got a nicer grade than I expected to right here. So it's True Comics 5.
Ooh, that's did I see that one? I don't recall seeing that one.
Oh yeah.
I did see that one. You should. Man, that's a nice grade.
So this one I got creamed off white pages, but I got a 5.5, if you can
Nice
see
grade,
there.
man. Nice grade.
This is promoted by Parents Magazine Institute
Right,
in
right.
October in 1941. So for a book from 1941, still holds its color pretty well.
Let the good people know why that book is so important. Let the good people know.
So if you see right here, sorry, the glare is a little. You can see the brown bomber right there on the cover
Mhm,
right there. And this is one of the earliest, if not the earliest, if I'm mistaken,
mhm.
uh, appearances of my main man Joe Lewis right here.
So Joe Lewis appeared in a lot of comics. Matter of fact, during the 40s, maybe even the late 30s, Joe Lewis was like what Black Panther is today or what Blade is today. A lot of the early um, quote unquote heroes of our time, especially in the African American community, were athletes. You know, Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays, even Jack Johnson had a book that was printed out in Mexico. And in 1941, the Parent Institute they realized that they wanted to start really showcasing more and more diverse uh, uh, stories within their comics. They had a history of creating, sprinkling all these different Black stories in all their diverse comics. They had comics that was geared toward teenagers, men, etc., even families. And every comic they would sprinkle Black stories from Mary McLeod Bethune, Marian Anderson, Joe Lewis, etc. And then 2 years later, in 43, that book was used as the catalyst to start Negro heroes.
Okay.
And so that was the book that started Negro heroes. Most importantly, anyone in the audience that has a copy of Negro Heroes, all you have to do is turn the page and look on the inside. And the Urban League, who was used to promote the book, they would thank Parent Institute for allowing them to reprint those stories in Negro Heroes. So that book is not only the catalyst, it started Negro Heroes. Matter of fact, I was on Comic Hall Crew last night and actually showed the letter, and Mike has seen the letter
Yes.
where the Parent Institute is trying to come up with an idea to take all of these Black stories and compile them into what eventually became Negro Heroes, and that book started it all. So that was the first time we saw not only an African American on the cover, but that cover is also him being featured on the inside of an actual comic book, and that is a big tell. That's early 40s, 1941.
Yep.
So that's
October 1941.
a big deal. It's a really big deal.
H&H Comics says, "What's up, Mike and Rico? What's going on,
What's
boss?
up?
Appreciate you stopping by." So not to flex or brag a little bit.
Oh, flex. You should flex. That's a big
Even
book.
even with the value stamp on here and everything, still got a couple creases I think that Mike could have pressed out. Maybe I'll dive into that down the line, but right now, fortunately, I'm the only one with this book on the census. So this
Man,
is a
big.
101 on the census right now,
And a nice grade.
and a very nice grade, 5.5. The book being that old, chances are I won't see too many high grades of these popping up.
I can honestly say I think I've seen almost every book, whether I purchased it or not. I don't think any book is going to get higher than the 7. I just don't see it, even with some serious pressing. So
Yeah.
there's a possibility that not only would that probably be the highest, it would definitely be one of the highest.
And I do want to note that there are 2 variants of this one. This one, and there's a Canadian version.
Right.
This one is the regular one, or I won't even say regular. You'll see a difference on one on the top side. It'll say Canada on it. So
And it'll also say the word magazine. So it'll say True Comics Magazine on it. It'll be a lot larger masthead, and then include the word magazine.
yeah. So I definitely appreciate the alley oop on that one, and happy to
Man,
have it into
absolutely.
to the
Absolutely.
collection.
Don't matter. You still got to dunk it. You still got to execute.
You still got to dunk it. Hey,
Hey,
I
you
tell
still
people
got
all
to
the
grab
time.
the ball and put it in. So, man, salute to you, bro.
So you know how many times we send books to people and say, "Hey, like this is a good one," and then you go back and ask them like, "Did you get it? Did you win it?" And then
They let the ball. We throw the
uh,
alley oop, and the ball go right through their hands.
hey, the true point guard. Hey, we might not see it again. So
And not see it again. But
so
that's a great book, man. Great pickup, man.
this next book, and I got this one for a steal, a very steal, not a high grade, but in the game. We have Millie the Model 141 right here. This is the first appearance of Jull Jerold
Jull Jerold
in comics. Let me see if you can see that. And this is from Marvel Comics in September 1966. Sorry, it's a glare here with these comics and the lights up. I'll try to get you
good, man. You good.
cleanest copy.
Yeah, you good. That presents well, bro. For 1/8, bro, that presents really well. I'm shocked you got a 1/8 on. That looks really good. And those books don't come in good condition. They come pretty beat up. Even if it's like a 335, they're not gonna. I've never seen anything that looks larger than a 5, 6, or 7. They usually look pretty worn. So that's a really well
Not at
book.
all. And this one right here, I sent off to my guy to try to get pressed, and I guess it was too brittle to actually deal with.
Right.
So I didn't get a higher grade than I thought I was going to, like I said, because it was too brittle to press. But there's only a few of these on the census. So even at a 1.8,
do you remember how many on the census? Can't be that many. Right?
There's 2 total. This one will make number 3. So,
wow.
And actually, I have that data. I'll actually bring that up here. And let me go ahead. Let me go.
Yeah, that's it.
So again, she's featured in Millie the Model 141 for anyone that's out there looking. So it's not a pricey book, but definitely
it probably will be after this show.
Yeah. And you go on there's not one on eBay right now currently. Right. And when they come, they don't last long. So like I said, Jull Jerold, I'm pronouncing it correct, right?
Yeah, Jull Jerold, yeah.
Featured in Millie the Model. And like I said, this is September 1966. And this is what we would like to call one of Marvel's best kept secrets.
Absolutely. I think she is. Absolutely. 100%.
And let's go ahead and So
Now what book? Now what book is this? This is what book right here?
this one is a clip, I think, from actually
141. Right.
141 as well.
Right.
And you can see she's sitting there. She was a model basically back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
with the agency, working
The head
alongside
of the agency.
yep, working alongside Millie the model,
Mm-hmm.
who was a big character back in the day. I want to say you said starting
Really
in
big. Really.
47.
Yeah. The Millie the Model started out in 1945, and I think the run ended in 67. And somewhere, no, it's 73. 73 or 67 or 73. And then around 63, modeling with Millie started. So around 1966, there were actually two comic books with Millie the Model running at the same time. So that would be similar to a Black Panther running, and let's say Ultimate Black Panther running simultaneously. So there was two Millie the Model, two Millie books. One was Millie the Model, which started in
and,
1945,
and
and I
modeling with
think
Millie.
that was, and then there was another one. Matter of fact, I can tell you exactly the dates on those. When
The
all
other
when
book is
they,
called Modeling with Millie.
the other was
The other
called
run.
Modeling with Millie. Absolutely. And so, and I think, one of the things we're going to talk about is one of the reasons why this book, I think you get so much weird information when it comes to this book. There's so much. Yeah. So Millie the Model started out in 1945 and the run ended in 1973. And Modeling with Millie started in 1963. It ended in 1967.
So as you see, a couple close-up shots.
And
Uh,
now, if you do some research, now one of the things I was sharing with you earlier is that when I get when I research, and sometimes the first thing that comes up, we know it's going to be Google results. And I always tell even kids I mentor when you do research is like, don't just rely on just the first thing you see in Google. Try to
correct.
find at least 3 or 4 research items that corroborate what you just found. That way, you have enough evidence to kind of support whatever that you're looking for. But it has been said that she was inspired by Lena Horne. And
Very
if you
nice.
look at her, like maybe like this photo, and if you look at how she looks in 141, you can actually see that inspiration. I don't necessarily know if that's true. I never found enough information to support that, but I can actually see that. I can actually see that Lena Horne type of resemblance in at least in 141. Of course, once you get into 143, which I think is her second appearance, is 140. Well, okay, within this run, in her
Yeah,
second appearance, right, within this run, because she's also running at the same time with Marlon with Millie. Her complexion starts to get a little bit darker.
yeah. And the great thing about this is that she's actually drawn in a positive light for
Very
1966
positive.
and before. We know kind of how they depicted people of color. So
Yeah,
uh,
and so I think a lot of people are probably wondering what makes her like Marvel's best kept secret, right? And I think what we want to talk about today is that what makes her one of Marvel's best kept secrets because she did something very historical that I think and very unprecedented that most comic collectors don't know. This book came out in 1966, and this is before Storm. This is before Misty Knight. If you want to look at it from the standpoint of African American or Black women, we can make an argument and say she is the first lady of Black women in Marvel Comics. She's the first time we've ever seen in Marvel Comics a Black woman not only featured but continuing a recurring role. So she predates everyone. Storm, Misty Knight. So she's definitely the first Black woman of Marvel. I guess that's a good way of saying it. So
yeah. And
she
again,
there's a lot of weight to this to her first appearance.
yeah. And I remember going in and we talked about this. Some mention her in 143. Some mention her in book 47. I mean, it's
Even
all over the place.
48.
Yeah. So just to reiterate, September is when the book is titled, but the book actually came out in
in June,
June,
right?
if
In
I am
June.
mistaken.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and you have those screens to show, and
yeah,
this is an important clip as well. And I think what I love about what you do on your show is you use the word, put people on game. And I think this is what this particular show is going to do because we're going to provide so much information and receipts based on the book. I think a lot of times when people are doing research, what they fail to realize, Mike, and we know this because we do this all the time, but they fail to realize the best way to get information is to read the book. The best research is the book itself, not Google and different things like that. Because if you go to Google, you could probably find at least 4 different places with 4 different first appearances that they'll give you, and they're all different. So, so her first appearance is in this book, and if you notice, this is a clip, a panel in the book where it says, "Watch for Jill in future issues. Gals, we think you're going to love her." And this is 141. Now, watch this. She's in several panels, multiple panels, speaking, talking, engaging, all different things. And this is 141. Yet you will find some sources, even Marvel fandom sources, say her first appearance is 143, which doesn't even follow because we see her clearly right here in 140.
Clear as day. In multiple panels, speaking, panels, right. They say her name, everything. So there's clearly a first appearance. Right. Mr. Lett, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you stopping by. You got an amazing collection, bro. And you stay humble and quiet about it. So I just wanted to shout you out right there.
Oh, Mr. Lett on another level.
Yeah. Let's keep
and he definitely stay humble with it.
Quiet and humble about it. So
he stay humble. Good dude.
So as you were speaking about her being all over
misinformation. So this is an example of misinformation, but this is important. You know, we want to be transparent and make sure that not only we give you information, prepare you what you're going to find when you start searching, because the goal is for you to do your own research, but also understand that the best way to get the research is to read the book. So here it gives you clear the factual information. The first sentence that identifies her as the first Black woman and woman of color. And that's pretty remarkable, Mike, that they're not only recognizing her as the first Black woman, but woman of color. So, you know, that's pretty big.
That's a big distinction.
If you think about it from that standpoint, that's a strong statement. But first of all, she does not appear. First of all, so let me just show you how bad this sentence is after the word comic book. First of all, they probably mean 48 because she didn't appear in 47.
At all. We read that.
Let's just say hypothetically, she did appear in 47. 47 and 48 came out in 1966, not in 1965. So this thing is all kind of wrong. So this is kind of what we wanted to talk about today is to not only give you some amazing information about a character that we believe is just an amazing character to learn about. Hopefully you can add this book to the collection, but make sure you find the right book so that you can add the right book to your collection.
Yeah, I do want to know she was created by Stan Lee and Dennis O'Neil. Like I said, Millie the Model 141 again. This one is this was just a Google search right here.
That's a Google.
So we're just showing you the difference that it's all over the place. So the one you want, Millie the Model 141. And then we'll show you why that it's clarified that is her clear first appearance too, going on down.
Here we go. Yeah.
So
as you can see, now this is where it gets kind of crazy. So and watch. Do you have a screenshot of 48 as well? Of modeling with Millie 48?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what you're gonna see here is you have 141 that has September, and you have 143 that has November. But if you notice, somebody if you go to the fandom site that you and I were looking at earlier, it's going to say 143 is the first appearance. But as Mike was sharing that you have, and every comic book has that. They have release dates and they have cover dates. If you go to any fandom site, look at a book, you're going to have release date, cover date. But in 1966, you had 2 books that came out simultaneously at the same time. And it wasn't 143. It was Millie the Model 141 and Molly with Millie number 48. Those actually came out in the same year, the same month, which is absolutely fascinating as well. I think Mike's going to show that also.
Yeah, and if you see, note that Millie the Model 141 releases in June, actually, even though the cover date says September. So that's the main distinction right there that we just want to note, because that's where it kind of gets tricky on her actual first appearance and everything. So. And here's the actual clip too. If you look down in the bottom right corner there.
Now this is from Modeling with Millie number 48, this particular clip. And this is where a lot of people believe that her first appearance is in Modeling with Millie 48. Now, I will give Key Collector app credit. They actually have this correct. Um, um, they actually have it correct. And they have her first appearance as 141, and they have her first cover appearance as modeling Millie 48. This clip comes from modeling with Millie 48. And if you notice in the bottom right hand side, it says the gang met Jill in issue 141. So it doesn't get this. This is like the best receipt you can have. It's clearly telling you, because these books, remember, these books came out. These two books, Modeling Millie 48 and Millie the Model 141, came out in the same month and the same year. They were just recurrent. They were just issues that were just running at the same time. But they're clearly telling you that the first appearance is 141, and this is where all the other models for Friends, the young women, they actually met her in that particular issue. So this is the receipt that you need to prove that 141 is her first appearance.
Right. Like you always say, read the book.
Read the book.
Will tell you exactly what it is. So
the book can tell you what it is exactly.
So again, just to reiterate, like I said, this is Millie, or Modeling with Millie number 48.
48. This clip. Right.
If you look on the bottom right cover, it's a black background and it has a picture of Millie, and she's actually darker than Conflicted right here.
Yeah, she's much darker. She actually even her complexion, like if you see here, like this is Model with Millie 48. So if you look at her complexion here, you'll see it's even much darker than from the first one, where you see right where she kind of has more of a Lena Horne type look.
Yep.
But the beautiful thing is you can clearly see that she was intended to be an African American. Unlike you see this, so you can see that it's a darker shade here. Unlike Gabe Jones, when he first appeared in Sergeant Fury Howling Commandos in 1963, I believe. On the cover, he's white. On the inside, he's white. But there is one panel in that actual issue where he's kind of gray, but it's a very, very small panel. But 90% of every other panel he's in is he's white in that book. That's why I always say, Howling Commandos #2 is first appearance of Black Gabe.
Yeah, not one. Yeah,
when Marvel fully committed, that's the first appearance.
And H&H Comics said he looks like they darkened their skin a little bit between 141 and this one. And yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Absolutely right. They did.
So they're clearly showing.
She actually gets much darker.
She does. If you actually look on, let's go back to.
All right, that's her first appearance.
So if you look on the bottom right there,
bottom right hand side,
that's actually cut and paste. I took a snippet from cover 48. And if you haven't met the saucy, sparkling Jull Jerold, you're in for a treat. So that right there, so it shows you how they darkened her up a lot. So no confusion. Let's keep the slides going on here. So this is what was interesting to me when you brought this to my attention. You know how Marvel kind of goes through and they kind of retrofit characters and modernize them throughout the times. It seems like they actually gave her powers a little bit later on. So
she definitely at the least she was somewhat of a crime investigator, detective. Matter of fact, there's even a story where Millie needs her to help handle some investigation work. So at worst, she's Batman without the utility belt. You know what I mean? Where she becomes a really good detective. She does have a lot of investigation skills. Very smart, very intelligent young woman. She has always been written very positive, and I think that's one of the most beautiful things about her. Even when you read some of the stories, everybody clamored. When she walks into a room, it's like she's always the center of attention. Everybody gravitates to her. They're asking her questions. Where have you been? We haven't seen you in a long time. Oh, it's so good to see you. And that's one of the things, too, I love about this character. And when we were talking earlier, I was like, I think she is Marvel's best kept secret because, when we talk about bringing in obscure characters into, let's say, the MCU, she's an amazing character to bring in. Like you can even turn the Hanover Agency into some type of SHIELD type agency, right? Where it camouflages as a modeling agency, right? But really is some type of, governmental agency with spies and different types of tactical forces. But she could be an amazing character that could come in. Maybe Sam Wilson's at a restaurant or somewhere and he runs into her and, something like that. So, I think there's so much room for a character like this, and especially since she predates every other African American woman or Black woman in Marvel Comics. Why not take advantage of that? Use that legacy, man, and just kind of just start easing her in and just see what the community says and see how fans gravitate to her.
Yeah, and it's even dope too. This is for all the Stan Lee fans out there. This is a Stan Lee created character.
Stan Lee
Um,
created character. Yep,
so,
absolutely. Yeah.
that's pretty dope. And like you just said, let me read a brief history of one of her issues. While modeling for Hanover and taking part in photo shoots alongside Millie Collins, Patsy Walker, Chili Storm, and Tony Turner, Millie was briefly imprisoned, finding a gun by a shot photographer.
Yeah, there it is. That's the one. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yep. So Jill helped clear Millie's name and to investigate the crime while also being targeted by thugs, which turned out to be the work of Satchit Nelson, the photographer's ex-girlfriend. So show
Yeah.
you right there that she's already saving the day, coming through.
Mhm.
She's not the damsel in distress. So that's even more dope. So
Now, I'm gonna get something interesting. So I just recognize it. So if you notice that they're talking about Millie, of course, Millie Collins, Patsy Walker, Chili Storm, and Tony Turner. Tony Turner is usually the person that people actually think is Jull Jerold, and they confuse. I think that's why those books are all over the place. No matter where you go, you'll get 143, like what you see right here, or you get 48, 47, 141. Well, there's a character by the name of Tony Turner, very beautiful woman. She's not African American. She's actually a Caucasian woman, but she actually has some features that actually resemble the earlier version of Jull Jerold, and I think that's why this book is all over the place, because people, I think, sometimes see her,
yeah,
and think it's actually Jull Jerold. I can show you a link if you want me to, man. I can show you a picture of it. Drop it in if you want me to.
yeah.
And I think people can actually kind of see. You can probably see the resemblance. Let me see if this. Matter of fact, she might be in.
I noticed. I think she's in one of those slides. Yeah,
oh, she's one of the slides. Okay.
So I'm pretty sure one of these.
She has dark hair.
It's Chili right there, and Millie.
Right.
Let's
see if she's in one of those. I don't see her yet.
Nah, she's not in none of these. Okay. So that was part of the confusion too when I was actually going through and
yeah.
See a couple of them.
Her and Tony Turner actually do look alike. You know what? You know what it is? It's gonna be. I think the best one is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, Millie the model. I think it's gonna be 140. You know what? It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be 143, which is what tends to be the one people think it is.
Yeah. And as you see, you see how dark complected they actually made her too. So that's pretty dope. And when you go search this character, it's going to be another little tidbit in there, and we haven't quite figured out, how true or not it is. But she'll also come up as a Jill Wagner in a different universe, like 10-161 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And within that one, she actually has powers. So, not to throw no crazy more ideas out there, but it's quite possible that she might be the first Black superhero
for Marvel. It's a possibility that she, but it would be, if that's true, it would be more like
a variant of her,
right? It'd be like retcon or something like that, or like a alternative universe type concept where like a multiverse type thing, if that's true, of course. But
here's a closer snapshot. I know the glare, so I got at least a snapshot of my cover right here. And this is this is the first appearance of Jull Jerold. Millie the model 141. Everybody know again. This is the 1.8 cream off-white pages, but there's only 3 or so on the census now. This makes 3. There's 2 beforehand. So, and these right here. What you think you got on?
Yeah, those are my 2 copies. Yeah, I think the one in the back, I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember when I first saw it, I felt like it might be somewhere between the 6 and the 7.
Yeah.
And that's probably, and that, of course, maybe with a nice press. The one at the top, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's some several breaks on the spine, but it's still, both are really still in pretty good. I don't see any of those being less than a 5.
Yeah.
They look
That's
pretty good. Yeah.
that's those are gonna come out as some pretty dope grades though.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here. So I think that's the end of the slide, and I got a couple more. I might as well just show the rest
Yeah. Show the
of the
haul,
haul
man.
I got. There's another
Oh man, great.
detective-like character.
And let me tell you what's so fascinating, with the Friday Foster book that you're showing, it's amazing. I'm not going to say there's any similarities. I'm not going to try to draw any serious comparisons between her and Jull Jerold, but I think it's fascinating that when you think about the history of uh, Friday Foster, a former model, right, who became a photographer, also became a crime investigator, all these different things, and then you have someone like Jull Jerold, who's a model as well. So I think there's some
Yeah,
pretty unique coincidences, man. So I think you can draw some pretty neat comparisons
and
there.
this
Loose
is in
comparisons.
and this is in '72. So Millie or Jill Gerard actually also predates
Yeah,
her as well.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
absolutely. Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
so, maybe not. Who knows? But still,
yeah,
one I was just happy to have.
yeah.
Another one I got wasn't a really big key, but I just wanted to add the book to my collection, and it's just New Gods #3.
Man,
And,
that's a dope book, man. That's a
just the
dope book.
origin and first appearance of Black Racer.
Matter of
Start,
fact, I just upgraded mine, man. I used to have, I think my original was an 8 or 8.5, and now I have a 9. I sold that one, upgraded to a 9.4.
I think I'll probably upgrade. These is a lot more affordable
Yeah, yeah,
than they
yeah,
were
yeah,
in
yeah,
years
yeah,
past.
yeah.
Now,
Yeah, books like
definitely,
that, man. Yeah, yeah. Every
definitely
time
a
I get,
book.
that's one of those books that if the opportunity presents itself, I kind of just take my time.
Yep. And
If
this is
I can,
from 1971 too, so
yeah, yeah. If I can upgrade,
that
I'll
up pretty well.
upgrade. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
And I'll show my. Got two more. I'll show right here. This one is Wonder Woman 204, first appearance of Nubia, and this also is in 1973. So again, Jill Gerard actually predates this one as well.
Yep,
And I was
yep,
I was I was happy to get this one in a 6.5. So I have a couple other grades of this one, but this
yeah.
one to complete my set. So 204, 205, and 206, all
And,
in
and
6.5. So that kind of
and
works out well.
think about what Mike is sharing. Although Friday Foster is the first black woman to have her first title, Jill Gerard is still predating all of these characters. She's
All of them.
predating Storm. She's predating Friday Foster. She's predating Nubia. She's predating Misty Knight. So I mean, think about this is what I said. This is Marvel's best kept secret. I just sent you a link that kind of showed you a picture of Tony, and I think the reason why I think a lot of people confuse her with Jill Gerard, and I think this is why when you look online, trust me, audience, you're gonna get about 4 different first appearances. So what Mike is doing, I think, man, he's definitely doing the Lord's work right now, man, and making it easy for you guys, man, to get all the receipts you need and go to the book yourself, read it online, and you can clearly find out that. Million Model 141 is Jill Gerard's first appearance.
Let's see. So it adds it to the slide, but it didn't. Since this one is already preloaded. Let me see if I can. Did you add it to the?
I just dropped it in the private chat.
Okay,
Yeah, I just dropped it in the private chat.
so that's
Yeah,
good. I'll make sure to at least check it and try to show it or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
I got one last mail call. This one's a raw one right here.
Oh, okay.
So I'm opening this one up just to. And this one right here is just a personal key of mine's character that I think might get some traction in the DCU.
Okay.
Who
Hold on.
knows?
Hold on. Do I need to buy one before you show it? Do I need to go online and buy it before you show
Well,
it?
I think you might have already had
Okay.
one of
Okay.
these and kind of
I want to make
dumped it
sure you
off.
don't spike the price up, man.
So if things go well, like James Gunn said, and they're going to follow the path of the animated shows, this character appears in uh, Justice League Unlimited, appears in Young Justice, pretty much appears in all of the cartoons, Batman the animated series, you name it, he's in there. And this is Blue Beetle #1
Oh, question. Yeah.
right here. First appearance of the Question.
Nice. Nice, nice.
And this is Steve Ditko art all the way back in 1967. Trying to show it without the glare.
No, that's good. That's good. That's
All
good.
right, so you want to make sure you pay attention to. There's a revised, or what you want to say,
Yeah, it's like
reprinted
a but it's
cover.
like a reprint. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you want the one uh, made by Charleston Comics. It has a red cover on the top. The other one, the reprint, it'll be blue up here on the cover. So that's not the one you want to get. But this one right here, first appearance of the Question, one of my favorite characters. I like it a lot because down the line, I try to stick along with my main man Dennis Cowan,
And
and he,
I'm glad you shared that too, man, because that's one of those reprints that came in earlier years where people may actually believe it's the first print because it's
yep,
not a modern facsimile or anything like that. So that
years
was
ago.
really good that you brought that up because those people will probably wouldn't even know that.
So make sure you stay away from it. I think the other one says like it's like Milestone Comics on it or whatever. Not the Milestone you're thinking about, but it's the
It's a
distinct
different,
blue
yeah.
M on the top cover. You'll see. So the one
It,
you want is red,
do
CDC on
you
the
know
top.
if the price point is the same, Mike? Do you
You'll
know?
see a drastic difference in price.
Okay,
That one is
that'd be a good way
drastically
to get.
different.
Okay,
Yeah,
good, good. So
drastically
basically,
different.
look for the 12 center then, right?
Yeah, and you want the one by Charleston Comics right there.
Okay.
So, and they were purchased by DC in like '83. So you get a
Nice.
lot of flack about Roy Shark and being like a knockoff character of the Question or whatever, because similarity, no face, and everything like that. But there's nobody to sue because they bought the rights to this, so of course they can make whoever they want with their own IP. So
And the reason, and that's a good note you brought up. That's why even though Blue Beetle, the character, particularly Dan Garrett, is public domain, but Ted Cord is not because when DC purchased the rights, they didn't purchase the public domain version. Dan Garrett, they purchased the licensed version that was recreated.
yep,
Ted Cord, yeah.
so big difference. So
Hmm.
just a few books added to my collection. Mr. Les said loves that Wonder Woman 204. Yeah, it's a dope book to have. I think any blurred out there collecting should definitely add.
And
What you call it?
let probably has a 9-9. Tell let
I believe it. You know the
tell let stop.
humbleness of it right there. So
Tell let stop playing, man. He probably has a
hey,
9-9.
so yeah. Again, I thought hopefully we see the Question in the DCU, but we'll never know. But I think even if he doesn't appear, and I think the way the movies kind of are
Okay.
trending with books, I think it's still a dope book just to have in your collection. And
Do you think if they bring the Question in, it may be the original, or would they do it? Was it Renee Montoya? You think they might
yeah,
do the Renee
so
Montoya
I
version?
think I think if they go about it the correct way, I just wouldn't name him at all. I would just name him the Question, keep the mystique to him,
I like that. That's
and
good.
then that
That's
way it
good.
encompass everyone, and then
That's a
that
good
way you
idea.
kind of you
That's
kind of keep
that's
that mysteriousness to him, or whatever. And
I
then
love
I
that.
actually wouldn't put him in no like major roles or whatever, because it's a character that you can use on the street level. Just doing noir type detective type work, sort of similar to Dick Tracy's of the world. And I think it will go a long way for DC. So if
You know,
DCA, if you're listening,
if DC had let's say DC decided to do something like what Marvel is doing, Marvel Spotlight, right?
right,
And we said,
right,
okay, we're not going to necessarily uh, bring characters within the MCU storyline, but we want to be able to highlight maybe some characters that we feel are deserving of some attention.
yeah,
I think a character like if let's say if DC did something like that, a character like the Question. I love the similarities you brought up, like a crime fighter, because he could be very dark, like you said, like a Dick Tracy. I think he could carry a nice show, man, because
yep.
there's so much mystery and ambiguity about the character. And even when I saw him on the what was the recent animation that had Amazing Man in it?
That was Crisis on Infinite Earths
Bro?
#1.
If you notice, he kind of when he came into that scene, he had that old 50s
Yep.
sound when he was talking, that Dick Tracy sound when he was
That's why I
talking.
said perfect noir type character.
Perfect, yeah,
And it doesn't have superpowers, so you don't need the crazy CGI and everything like that.
yeah,
Maybe just
yeah,
to distort the
absolutely.
face, but uh,
You can probably
street
do that
level.
with makeup, right? Something like that. You can really go
I
super
mean,
hard.
they even got certain masks and stuff with the young folks called the Pusheisties and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah,
different type of
yeah.
distorted masks and stuff, so they can easily pull that off. And that's a regular actor, and then the little CGI work on the face, and that's nothing at all. So hopefully, hey, we get to see him. If not, still a great book to have in your collection because such an old book, such a great character. Always popping up, like I said, in every animated show you can think of, all the way back to the animated series. The question is always there. So, like again, that's Blue Beetle 1 back in '66, and that's with the Charleston line. So, just another little alley oop. You catch it or not, it's up to you. So,
get your hands right. Don't let it go through. Don't let it go
right,
through your hands.
Right. So I seen your Lakers pull one off last night. They did their thing. AD hit a nice game, got 23 boards. So throw a little shout out to y'all. Hey, maybe he might not be coming back to Cleveland after all. Who knows? So
hey, what did I tell you? If he can pull it off, they can draft his son. I have no problem with it.
Hey,
draft his son. I'll be more than happy.
So, hey, that's all we got for you guys today. I want to thank everyone for stopping by the Free Comic Book Game. Go to give a special shout out to Black Comic Keys right here for putting us all up on the knowledge that we all need.
Man, this was great, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Hey, it was a fun time. And again, please like, share, subscribe, add your friends. We're going to try to keep this live thing going. This is my third one, so I appreciate it. We'll try to get this live game down. Go ahead.
I want to do something. How many subscribers do you have?
I finally hit 100, so I'm able to go live now.
All right.
Everything going.
I want to do something crazy. I don't have anything around me. We need to hit 500 subscribers, y'all. I'm gonna do something big. Anybody that knows me and what I've done on YouTube, I do it big. I don't want to say anything now because I don't have anything around me to show. Let's hit 500 subscribers. I'm gonna give away a really, really, really big historical book. I promise you that. But we need to hit 500 subscribers ASAP. You don't believe me? Go to @BlackKeyComics on Instagram. You see what I have. You see what I talk about. You see what I'm about. That support the community, support brothers like Mike. He's putting out great content. Most importantly, Mike is a comic book lover. He loves books. He's passionate about it. He's like second, third generation comic collector. Let's support the people in the community that's out here trying to make the community better. So let's hit 500 subscribers, and we're going to give away something really, really, really big. All right, let's do it.
Let's go.